everyone. This is Tosha, and you are listening to the Supernova Tosha Show podcast, the show that discusses social issues and how it affects our community. And today's topic, we're going to get into it. We're going to discuss women proposing to men. What are your thoughts and your feelings towards this trend of women taking charge of their life and taking charge of their own destiny and not waiting around for their men to make the move? They're pretty much like, hey, this is my time. I'm ready to do it now. I'm ready to get married on my terms. So, we're going to get into it. Welcome once again to the show. Now, I just wanted to know if attitudes are changing towards women proposing to men. Is this something that, is a foreign concept based upon societal roles? Well, historically, it was the man who's always proposed to the women. And it even says in the Bible, it says that, he who findeth a wife. So therefore, it is interpreted as the man who seeks out for a woman and then chooses her to be his wife. So for a woman to then choose, her husband, some people look at it as something, as a strange concept, as a new concept. After all, it states in the Bible again that, it was Adam that came first. And then after Adam, the woman was created from his rib. And well, you know the rest. But if you go back to biblical times, there are some people that actually say that Ruth proposed to Boaz. If you read in chapter 4, it says, she's the one who proposed to him. But I've read it several times, and to me, it's sort of like she indicated to him that he should propose and be her husband. But, it's all up to interpretation, however you want to interpret it, however you want to do it. However you read and interpret it, it's really up to you. But tonight, this is something that I really want to discuss, because if you look up on the internet, you see a lot of women that are proposing. It's about I don't know. There was a survey that was done with 500 men. I was reading this, and about 70% of them said that they wouldn't mind if a woman proposed to them. So that struck me as something that was that is acceptable. That's something that is acceptable. So here's the thing. I read somewhere that when a woman proposes to her man, it says about her that she values her independence, she values her autonomy, and she values the fact that she controls the narrative of her own life instead of waiting around for that man to pop the question. Now, it's definitely not a new concept, and more women admit that they would do this more often. But the thing is that they just don't want that whole, they don't want that fear of being ostracized, for doing something that's so liberating, something that's so, out of the norm from a man-woman relationship. So, this is not something that is considered the normal relationship tradition. So, more women say, hey, if they wouldn't be ridiculed, that this is something that they would do. Now, I don't know how many of y'all watch reality shows, but there's that Love and Hip Hop episode. I don't really watch the show, but I mean, this was something that was so talked about that, and I saw it, and I went on YouTube and saw an episode where Love and Hip Hop New York, the woman by the name of Chrissy Lampkin, she proposed marriage to her man, the rapper Jim Jones, and it was quite interesting because the look on his face, he looked embarrassed. I have to say he did look embarrassed. You can tell that this is something that he wasn't expecting. And I don't know if he felt a little bit emasculated, but check it out. The first thing that he says is he sees the ring. She's sitting down, she's stooping down, and she takes the ring out and she puts it on his finger. And she's saying all this nice, lovey-dovey, wonderful stuff to him. And he says his response is, wow. And then he says, wow. That's his second response. And, he looks at her and he says, are you sure you want to do that? And, she slips the ring on his finger. And I don't know what was going on with the mom, because his mom kind of just stormed out, getting upset, whatever her issue was. She was getting mad. But you can see Chrissy narrating the scene that took place, and she's just like, well, he didn't quite say yes. So I think she was actually surprised at the fact that his response wasn't yes. Now, this was in 2019. We're now in 2023. And I just want to say that they are not married. So I don't know if this is, if the fact that she proposed made some kind of an impact and made him decide that this is not what he wanted to do. But in any case, listen, I am flabbergasted when I see a woman kneeling and proposing, like she's gone out and bought the ring, and men take a knee, right? Men take a knee. Traditionally, they take a knee, and it symbolizes, it's a connection to prayer and respect, and it's a tradition that dates back to medieval times when knights took a knee as a sign of respect to royalty. And that's the purpose of taking a knee. So I'm not sure, when a woman proposes and she gets down on one knee, if she really, really knows what it's connected to. And, for me, it's like, okay, do whatever floats your boat. I'm not going to sit in judgment. It does. I feel like it's not the norm, because I guess I don't see it a lot, and in society that's not, you always see the man proposing. So for me it is, I'm taken aback. I'm very surprised when I see women do it, but whatever floats your boat. I just know that for me, I'm not asking any man to marry me. In fact, I want to be proposed to in like the most romantic of ways. That I want to be on the beach. Like, I want to be swooned. I want to be on the beach. I want to, walk up to like a beautiful picnic scene with flowers and champagne and balloons and, like this pretty scenic imagery. And, all of a sudden I'm walking, and then I hear like singing, and I look around, and why, it's Usher, Usher. It's Usher singing and serenading us. And then after Usher's done serenading us, then he drops to one knee, and then he says, you are the greatest love that I've ever had, and you're a virtuous woman, a daughter of the Most High, and you're so powerful, and you were given the task to navigate unborn souls to this earth. Like, I want it all. I want the drippiness. I want the simpiest like lines, and I want it all. And then just to commemorate that event, that day, that night, that evening, with just a token of like a nice ring, something that he took like, I don't know, 6 months, a year, and he molded over and created it, and took the time to design it. Like I want that, something that signifies love, that certain, like a ring, like signifies there's no end and there's no beginning to love. That's really what it is. And just a man asking me, hey, will you make me the happiest man on this planet and be my wife? That's how I envision it for me. That's what I'm looking for me. So I don't see myself getting down on one knee and, writing something to propose to him. It's just not for me. I'm a very traditional person. I believe in gender roles. I'm very much into gender roles, and it might be archaic to some people, but it is what it is, right? But I want you to. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play a video. This is very interesting. Now this takes it. This is not just like a woman proposing. This is a wedding. It's an actual wedding, and yeah. When you see the wedding, just take a look. Take a look. Take a look.
So many and a million words to say to tell you how much I love you. But one thing I want to tell you and promise you, Miles, is that I'll forever submit to you. I'll forever submit to you. I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect you, Miles. I'll forever honor you, Miles, as the head of our home and no other. There is no other, there is no one, no plans of hell will ever prosper in our marriage and will ever hold me not to be a wife that is a Proverbs 31 woman. I will become that woman that builds the home as I follow you, as you follow Christ. That is the only thing that we will do in our household. And I promise and I vow that in heaven they hear. On earth I declare and decree, I shall be a submissive wife unto you as we continue to do this work of God. Because to us, this is beyond just love. This is about God. This is about kingdom. This is about our duty, reflecting to the world what true marriage, what God really intends for marriage to be. I honor you, Miles. And I love you with my all.
I don't have a problem with a woman being submissive. I don't have a problem with a woman declaring her love. I don't have an issue with any of it, but I don't know about being in that beautiful gown and just down on my knees and whatever floats your boat. I have some reactions that I want to read to you because and I love the internet. I really do. I love the internet. So one person said, lying is okay, but kneeling down to lie is where I draw the line. Get in first and come back to say this. Oh my goodness. Oh God, I want to read some of the ones that just took me. I had to throw my phone. I threw my phone. Of course, the men were like, "Oh, this guy is so lucky to have such a wonderful woman." Yes, this was. And one person said she was just desperate with this marriage, and then they typed something in an African language. The way my tongue can cling to my upper lip, then the knees fail to fold. Oh my goodness. I can't find some of the some of the ones that I really wanted to read. People thought she was just being over dramatic, and the men loved it. The men just ate it up. Waiting for our regular yes I do. They was like, no. She was really desperate to get married, but when she gets used to it, we shall see the true her. Somebody put, please, what is the title of this film? It's not a film. This lady really was married, and somebody said, who is bewitching me here? I want to watch the entire video, but I have failed. Oh my goodness. I love the internet. Some of these comments, this is hilarious. But anywho, yeah. So this is some of the comments. If you happen to see this video online, or if you see it here, go ahead and leave your comments of what you think. But no, it won't be me. To each its own. To each his and her own. She can do what she want to do. It is her husband, her hubby, her groom, her life, her wedding, her marriage. I just know it won't be me. No. And so these millennial women out here are just non-traditional as they want to be. They're choosing careers, they're choosing their education, they're choosing to having children, like pushing back having children, because back in the days it was like, okay, you move out of mom and dad's house, you get married, you start a family. But these millennials here are doing it their way. They are pushing back on having kids. They're doing things when they're ready. They're getting their education. They're getting their degrees. They're starting their business. They're earning their money. They are just living life on their terms. These millennium women are, and when they are truly ready to take that leap, they're doing it on their terms as well. They're letting the men know that I've got it. I got everything that I want, I need, I'm ready. Now my thing is it emasculating? Is it emasculating for men if a man and woman are in a relationship and she proposes to him, and she buys the ring, and in front of his friends and family, has a gathering and gets on one knee and then asks him to marry her? Is it emasculating? Is it taking away his leadership role in the relationship? And do men feel as if that this is pressure? Because a lot of men are like, I don't want to be pressured into marriage. I want to get married on my own as well. But is it emasculating? Is it something that they would feel pressure to do? I don't know. Is it just another way that, the man is not being the important person in the relationship? Because I can tell you that men, I have more male friends than I do female friends. And I can tell you the one thing that when we have conversations is men do not feel important. They feel like it's always the women. It's women this and women that, and they're more important. And let's just face it, the wedding day, the day of the wedding, it's all about the bride. It's about her dress, definitely about her dress. You want to see that gown. You want to see her just wowing. It's about her makeup. It's about her nails. It's about her ring. It's about her hair. It's about her tiara or her crown or her veil, or, is there something unique, spectacular, that everybody's there just to see the bride? So the wedding day is really about the bride. And so the proposal, that day is for the man. It's about him, for him to shine, for him to feel important. The wedding day, he's handsome, he's clean, he's suited up, and he looks great. He looks wonderful. But when they have the proposal. So when the woman infiltrates on that, what does the man have? Where's he in this? So I heard a funny story, and the story it was about a young lady, and she was on her, I don't know if this is true or not, but she was on her parents' health insurance. No, yeah, health insurance. And so she was turning 25 years old. And so at 25, you've got to get your own insurance. So at the time, she went ahead and decided to propose to her guy so that they can get married. When they're married, he can go ahead and put her on his insurance. Now, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but you know what? I don't think she thought this out because, yeah, no. If that's the basis of your marriage, you're starting out wrong. You proposing just so you could be on some insurance, you're starting this out wrong. But for me, listen, there's no right or wrong way for anybody to propose. I think for the most important thing is your marriage. The marriage is the most important thing. I'm not going to judge anybody for how they propose, how they got it done. But the most important thing is to have a good, solid, healthy union that makes you as a person happier. Because that's what marriage really is. Like, a lot of people it's just a contract and it's a business. And as long as you're together, you really don't need to do this. Listen. Studies have been shown that when you are in a good and healthy and happy marriage, that union makes you happier as a person. And when you're happy as a person, it helps to boost your life expectancy. It boosts your mental, it boosts your physical, it boosts you spiritually. And not only that, it provides economic stability. It keeps society growing. Without marriage, well, I wouldn't say 100% without marriage, we wouldn't have this population. But really, that's one of the purposes of marriage, to create families. In order to have a sustainable society, you need the population to increase. We need folks that invest, and we need people who work in agriculture. We need people who work in the arts. We need healthcare workers. We need folks who, work at the port. We need people who are, skilled laborers, construction workers, plumbers. We need people who have careers in law enforcement, judges, lawyers, doctors. We need, so on and so on and so on and so on. So, we need to create families, and with the unity of family and marriage and that bond, when it's good, it's good. Like, really, when it is good, it is good. I just know that at the end of the day, I think we're gonna see a rise in this. We're gonna definitely see a rise as young women get into these movements, and the younger generation are really just doing things unorthodox. They're not following a timeline like we did, and we're certain rules of engagement and certain societal roles. They're not adhering to it anymore. They're not adhering to any of that any longer. I just know that we're going to see, there's going to be an uptick, most definitely. And all I can say is just, more power to the people, more power to the women who are doing it, and just do it for the right reasons. And I really, truly do hope that everything works out for the best for them, in their relationships, in their union, in whatever life choices they make, and that they're really doing it for the right reasons. Because so many times people get married just for the wrong reasons, and then when things don't work out, it's devastating for the families, because when you get together, it's not, you hear people say, oh, I'm not marrying the family, I'm marrying him or I'm marrying her, but you really are marrying a family. You're getting in-laws, you're inheriting, sisters-in-laws and brothers-in-laws and cousins-in-laws and mothers-in-law, and it's a family affair. It's a whole family affair, and you're creating another generation to carry on your name and your values and your traditions. So anyways, it was a great pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will definitely see you next time. Thank you so much for rocking with me, and it's been a great conversation, and thank you all very much. Peace be still.